Hello everyone, Baku here, and welcome to my ultimate katana guide. I have been maining katana for, who knows how long now, so you can say that I'm pretty well knowledgeable, yes? Anyways, in this video, we will talk about everything I know, and everything you should know about katanas. From stat distribution, skills, equipments, playstyle, some tips, and some frequently asked questions about katanas. Like if you should go unsheathe or attack in your build. And at the end, I'll showcase the capability of my build. Okay, with that out of the way, let's dive right into it. Katana is a high-speed, high-skill DPS, specializes in fast continuous DPS, with its low-cost main DPS skill, and along with its iconic parrying mechanic, makes katana one of the flashier weapons to play if you ask me. And that's totally not biased. Unlike other weapons that have a good amount of AoEs, katana, or its main skill tree, Mononofu, for the most part is heavily a single target focus. There are two main ways which you can distribute your stat points. The first one is strength dexterity. Strength gives attack and crit damage, and dexterity gives attack and accuracy. Though the attack gained from strength is a little bit lower compared to dex, but the crit damage gained from strength is way much higher. This stat distribution is perfect for NPC weapons where you won't get any crit damage. Otherwise, if you are using a player-crafted full crit stat katana with crit rate and crit damage stats, then your most go-to stats will be dexterity over strength, since you already have a high amount crit on your weapon. What you want now is focus on more attack from dexterity, and putting more on strength might be useless since there is a crit damage limiter of 300. In this build, I'm using NPC katana, so my stats are strength dexterity. But like I said, go with which weapon you use. Mononofu skills is one of the most unique and coolest skill tree in game. It's totally not because I'm biased. The skills seems to flow properly and all interconnects with each other, from tier 3 to tier 5. And that's what makes katana unique. Now let's go through its main skills. Mononofu in total has 6 main DPS skills options, each divided by tiers, tier 3, 4, and 5, 2 for each tiers. Now let's just quickly go through all of them in case you didn't know, otherwise feel free to skip to this timestamp. Tier 3 consists of Hasso Happa and Zante.
Hasso Happa, katana's only AoE skill, is an attack that hits enemy in a certain space around them. This skill hits twice or thrice, depending on the skill level. This skill is also considered as an unsheathe, has a perfect aim and not affected by any SRD or whack. Next is Zante Satetsu, katana's iconic parry skill. Slashes the enemy 4 times, and if you took a damage during the slashing animation, the damage you received will be fully nullified. And if the parry is successful, the skill will have a 5th high damage slash that has a chance of inflicting armor break. This skill is also considered as unsheathe attack. Tier 4 is when katana's playstyle drastically change with the introduction of Tenryu and Hiryu. Tenryu Ransei slashes enemy 4 times. This skill is stackable, and the power and motion speed increases per stack, with a maximum of 4 stack. This skill has a very short duration, but it can be extended by using Magadachi or parried Zante, or Zanu. Both Tenryu and Zanu is unsheathe, but Zanu has a perfect aim, and its damage is based on Tenryu, so maxing Zante or Magadachi is useless as it doesn't affect Zanu at all. Next is Garyu Tensai, katana's ultimate slash, is another stack-based skill. The damage of this skill increases as more stacks are accumulated, with a maximum of 10 stacks. You can get stacks by using any Mononofu skills, except for buffs like Kairiki and Meikyo, or by using the auto-attack dash. 1 stack per successful auto-attack dash. One thing to note, this skill has a very low critical rate. In fact, it has -10 crit. But with Kairiki Ranchin active, its crit rate becomes 90, with 100% physical pierce. But the Kairiki buff will be consumed after using Garyu. Now to tier 5 skills, we have Kasumi Setsu Getsuka and Shadowless Slash. Kasumi attacks the enemy with a series of slashes, a total of 5 slashes. This skill is divided into two, the first for slash, and the final slash. The first 4 hits is always constant, but the last slash's damage depends on the number of Tenryu stacks. The higher, the stronger. This skill also extends the duration of Tenryu just like Xanu, but unlike Xanu, this skill doesn't have iframe. However, the Tenryu duration buff is much longer, maximum of 50 seconds. This skill is Unsheathe and has a heavy dex scaling, but don't worry, even with strength, this skill still does well. Next skill is Shadowless Slash. A budget judgment cut rapidly slashes the enemy. The hit has a slight delay and gives 2 Geryu stacks. Also, using Geryu Tensai while this skill is in animation turns it into Divine Slash, which deals an insane amount of damage, I kid you not. Divine Slash is Unsheathe, has a special perfect aim, meaning that it cannot miss, graze, or even be evaded, unless the enemy has an absolute forced evasion. Divine also has 100 crit rate, 100% physical pierce, and have 3 seconds of invisibility upon casting. And if that doesn't sound broken, I don't know what that is.
For skills, I definitely recommend maxing Tenryu, Kasumi, and Geryu. Also, level 1 Shadowless Slash is enough to unlock Divine. Leveling it does not increases Divine's damage. It's based on Geryu. Max all the passive skills for more damage. Especially Kairiki gives 100 attack and 25 AMPR. Also max Dauntless, a very OP katana passive. It makes katana stronger the longer you fight. 1 Dauntless stack is added every 2 seconds, a maximum of 100 stacks. This passive gives flat accuracy, flat weapon attack, flat base weapon attack, percentage weapon attack depending on weapon refinement, unsheath attack, motion speed, and at 50 stacks, damage taken will be reduced to 0 once during attack slide. And at 90 stacks, the MP cost of all Mononofu skills will be halved. And I also maxed Pulse Wave, because this skill is insane when combined with Senisen. Maxing this is optional though, as you will rarely use this in high phase fights. For blade skills, I maxed Warcry for 10% attack buff. Max Decoy Shot, AMPR for 60 seconds. Max Long Range to increase enhanced pulse wave damage. Brave Aura, 30% weapon attack buff, but greatly reduces accuracy. The usual battle skill tree line for attack DPS. Godspeed enhances Unsheathe attack. Flash Blast also buffs Unsheathe attack. Get Adlib if you need more combo opener. Quick Aura and Godspeed wield for attack and motion speed. Sicarius is also insane, 100 attack and 25% physical pierce for 30 seconds. Maxing Ninjutsu is optional since ninja skills are rarely used, but max Ninja Spirit. It allows you to use two-handed passive even with scroll sub. Star gems aren't really that necessary, but you can get some to save SP. And with this skill build, a total of 329 skill points was used. For weapon, I'm currently running 6th Aniv Katana, a very powerful katana even when compared to latest 7th Aniv. Hexter for attack and strength, then Dango for attack and pierce. Pierce is really important especially for Tenryu when fighting high difficulty boss, but if you mostly play Divine, you can ignore it. You can also use Modestia, a very good katana. Even without heavy multipliers, this katana is still OP because of these high stats. Combat Knife is also a very good pick. It has SRD, high pierce, and crit, and is actually very similar to 7th Aniv Katana. This katana is also good, but if you already have one of the previous 3 katanas invested, I wouldn't suggest to go extra mile investing in this. Yatagarasu is also insane on neutral enemies. Even NS is stronger than most to slot neutrals. The same goes with any DTs. For sub-weapon, I recommend Wind Scroll for attack speed and crit, then Kunai and Wind Release for skills. For armor, I use the standard attack full crit armor, with Usamochi for attack and Unsheathe, and DDEX attack and SRD. But if you are using Modestia, this type of armor works best since crit rate isn't needed anymore. DT armors are also very powerful option. And for lower budget, these armors are also good pick. Valentine's Day costume from Valentine's event. Then, assassin garb and calyps mail from blacksmith. For add gear, I'm using lace headdress with Bafo and Lafina. You can also use SBM for pierce, but I find lace's modifier to be better than SBM's pierce, especially if you already have high pierce. For ring, among all of these rings, Spectre and Tapler deals the most damage. You can also use Agile Tapler. Then for solos, I mostly use this, attack and AMPR. For avatars, run with what you have, but I suggest the following: attack, pierce, AMPR. So, attack or unsheathe? This is one of the most frequently asked questions about katanas. Katana skills scales heavy with unsheathe, so it only makes sense to prioritize unsheathe more, right? Well, that's not true. It's not like katana doesn't benefit from attack, because they do, a lot. So, the best is to balance between them, because an insanely high unsheathe is no good if your attack is very low. That is why when using SBM, Agile Tapler does more damage than Spectapler. But now that I've switched to Lace, which has a ton of attack, Spectapler is better than Agile Tapler. Divine/Slash combo. Divine Fast Stack combo. Buff combo. Decoy combo. Tenryu combo. You can also swap the opener on some situations. Then Kasumi combo. You can also use this for Pulse Wave combo. So, this build has a total of 136.5 crit rate, 289.3 crit damage, and 68% physical pierce. All calculations will be in the description. Katana's playstyle is very unique, but also very simple. Understanding the skill rotations is very easy as well. Use Tenryu 4 times before it ends, and to maximize the stacks you've built, use Kasumi to reset it to 50 seconds. Now enjoy that 50 seconds Tenryu. Do not forget to prorate properly though. Then once the Garyu stacks are 8, use the Divine combo, and repeat. And do not forget your buffs too, since they almost have pretty much the same duration. You can rebuff them at the same time to avoid confusion with skill rotations. But if you're playing purely Divine, then skill rotations isn't that hard as you only spam 2 combos most of the time. Okay, now it's testing time. For this test, I'll be using these buffs, all level 9 land buffs. And just to show the full capability of this build, I'll be using consumables. Now, let's test. And with that concludes the Katana guide. Let me know what you think. So, thanks for watching. And if you've enjoyed the video, a sub will be awesome. If you haven't already, that is. Anyways, Baku, eating out.